Hi,
everybody.
welcome back to the Justice and Faith Show. I just wanted to say thank you so much to our new subscribers on YouTube. And if you follow us on Instagram, because I just made a new Instagram, it's the Justice and Faith Show on Instagram. Super easy. So Justice and Faith channel, Justice and Faith Instagram.
And we also can be reached via Facebook. And we have some new branding things coming up, so I'm super excited about that. We're looking to do t-shirts and a few other things. We have like little
Insert new logo right here.
I don't. I'm not. She's the tech edit person and stuff like that. Like I'm just like the money and the muscle. I don't know exactly where I stand, but no, there's going to be a few changes as we proceed. But once again, thank you to the new subscribers. Other podcasts and people who are doing things like this. They've reached out to us. Thanks to my lovely wife and all the work that she's been doing. With just trying to get our material and our content out there. Once again, just please subscribe, please like, please comment. We're
share,
doing this.
tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, everybody that you think might enjoy our show.
Yeah, we take time out of our busy schedules every week to sit down and provide this content because we think that really people can get something out of it. We get something out of it as we're talking about it. We do it like we review notes and we talk about things before we speak to you guys. It's semi-therapeutic because sometimes we don't know things. Like I keep saying in these podcasts, like we don't know things and we talk through them. So then we present these things to you. And we've already processed it. We've already gone through, and every now and then we have a podcast where it's just like we're angry right before we get on because we disagreed about something, but then we go back, we revisit it, and by the time we did our podcast, we've reconnected because the content that we provide it's mostly for people who are married. If you're in a long-term relationship, hey, that's fine. If you're just getting into a relationship, if you're a newlywed, but it's mostly geared towards people who are married because of our history. Now we have just perspective-wise, we have things that have happened between us where some of the content is not always going to be geared towards necessarily a married person, but for married people, please watch, like, share, subscribe,
comment,
get something out of this because we're hoping that we can save some marriages and honestly probably save some lives. All right.
So today we are actually doing a top 10 list. This many right here. So today is actually the top 10 things we think you should know before you get married that no one told us. And just to start it off with a little bit of lightheartedness, my number one thing that I wish someone would have told me is living with multiple people. You will have a ongoing, like, to the death battle with laundry, with dishes, and with trash. It's literally never over.
I just thought about something though. We meal prep.
We do meal prep.
We have a lot of clothing.
We do have a lot of clothing.
And our clothing is for different stuff. So we go to the gym a lot. And for work, we have different outfits.
Yeah, typically all of us have at least 2, if not 3 outfits a day because we have gym, we have work, we have leisure, we might have pajamas. So like we all have multiple outfits a day. So it's never ending. And then the other one is along the lines of clothing. No one told me marrying this guy that I would be living with a real life queer eye guy, even though he's not queer. But he's very fashionable.
She said I'm not, and I'm looking at this sweatsuit. I'm like.
So he like critiques my outfit every day when I get up and get dressed.
Don't lie to the people.
I
don't critique it every day.
Because sometimes you're sleeping.
And if I'm sleeping, how am I critiquing it?
Exactly.
But as soon as I wake up, you're like, I look great today. Or how does this look? And I just stare at you and I'm like, when I stare at you, I'm like, do you want me to answer this? Or do you want to just wear what you already have on? Like, and then it's just like, well, no. And if I say anything, it's kind of like, I got to change the whole outfit.
Right.
Like, I got to change the whole, I can say the colors don't necessarily match. So if you change the earring, she'll change the whole outfit.
Yep.
And I'm just like, why did you change it? Well, you said it didn't match. That's a whole nother thing. Like, we can make this a top 20. Yeah. But those are more like the lighthearted ones where it's not that serious, it's not that deep, and those ones are contingent upon the person that you're married. But
so we're gonna get into the
nitty-gritty
top 10 list. So the first one is marriage is hard.
Capital, we have this note, right? It's capital H-A-R. She wrote that.
Yeah.
Capital H-A-R-D. Hard.
Very, very hard. People have this like notion that marriage is like all rainbows and butterflies and sunshine.
Wait. And I pre-recorded a meeting. I just remember something.
What?
The note that I gave you is that marriage is sometimes hard.
Oh, well.
She did it again. She changed things up once we on camera because I can't get angry because I'm like, the people are
but
like,
it is. Like, yes, okay, sometimes.
Marriage as a whole is hard because you're committing to another person
right
all the time.
Yeah, it's like you have to, like, your whole life changes. Like, especially for someone like me, who the first time I got married specifically, I had never lived with anybody else other than my parents or like roommates or like family and friends and stuff. Never like
virgin.
I was a virgin. I was never lived with anybody. Like it was very different when I got married and I moved in with him because now all of a sudden I have to live with a boy. That's not my that's not my family.
Excuse me. First I'm queer, now I'm a
boys are strange.
Stop calling me a boy. Man.
Okay, so I had to live with a man, and men are strange. So just getting used to that was a big deal. And so marriage in general is great. It's wonderful, but it's also hard.
It takes work. So when we say hard, we don't mean hard in terms of like calculus is hard and you don't need it. You don't need it. Calculus is hard and you don't need it. Marriage is hard and it's hard for reasons because it's two imperfect people that become one.
Right.
And we're dealing with an imperfect world and we're trying to make sure that we're doing the things for each other and for ourselves that are necessary. Mm-hmm. And any given day, her needs are going to be totally different than mine and vice versa. So if she wants to just come in and lay down on me and just cuddle and eat snacks and she doesn't want anything else, I might be like, I want to rip and run and talk and do everything else. And we have to understand that during those times, like, it's not necessarily about you, and you have to navigate how to give to your partner without taking away too much from yourself.
Yeah.
So
and that kind of brings us to number 2 on our list.
Is when like disagreements and things happen. So number 2 is walking away is okay.
Yeah.
So I'm running point on this particular topic because I've learned in time to walk away because I am between both of us. I am the firecracker. I'm like the 0 to 60, but it's not. There's typically like you have like 3 chances until I just go boom. And once I hit that level, I have to walk away. I've learned I have to walk away. There's a wall. We can no longer get past it. Mm-hmm. In order for us to proceed and for me to not regress
say or do something that he's going to regret.
But more so, it's my mindset. I have to walk away. I don't have to. Sometimes I just go sit in my car. Sometimes I just literally just don't want her talking to me. She'll stand there and stare at me. But but I don't. I just need to be away to decompress from that particular thing.
Yeah, and then number 3 or even 2B kind of is how you come back after that is important. So like walking away is okay, but making sure that when you come back with the understanding that just happened. I walked away because of X, Y, or Z, of the reasons he just said. Now that I'm back, it means I've cooled down. It means I've processed. You've had time to process. Now we are going to talk about this in a different way or refreshed way. So how you come back is important.
Yeah, you never want to come back with the same. So if you're the person that walks away, you don't want to come back because you took a breath and you got a second wind and you're ready to fight harder because you walked away and now you're even more upset because you've had more time to process it. You want to walk away and actually really try and down to think about what just happened.
Right.
One of the worst things I've ever done in my arguments is walk away and continue to let that manifest in my brain because I'm a person with a history of making bad decisions during those moments because I didn't adequately know how to cope. Because I used to not be the person that walked away. Mm-hmm. Now I wanted to solve that problem right then and there. Mm-hmm. And if I was dealing with somebody who wasn't working the same way, what I would do was feel like the person didn't care. And I can understand Faith sometimes when I walk away, I've walked out before and she's like, oh, you're just walking away again? And I'm just like, yeah. Or I'll say, if you say this again, I'm out of here. And of course, her being her, she'll say it, and you know, I gotta killmonger, and I gotta mean that, and I gotta leave because I gotta make an example.
Right.
But when I come back, I'm calmer because I've had the time to. I might not say as much when I come back. It normally gives her time to decompress, and if there was a disagreement, because she felt I didn't understand, or vice versa. Usually by that time I know that she's going to process and then she's going to have a better understanding, but I'm still pissed.
Yeah, my brain has by this point caught up to my mouth. Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but I'm still mad, and I'm just like, if you 10 minutes ago had the same thoughts that you had now, this wouldn't have
gotten there. Yeah.
So I'm mad because I'm like, it always happens that way. That's why I'm quicker to walk away now or say this is done. And she's like, it's not done until
it's not done just because you said it's done.
You said it's done.
Two of us in this conversation.
Like, no, just because you said it's done, I don't want it to be over. And I'm like,
yeah. So
that's why I think I'm gonna start wearing hoodies and this time I'm gonna walk away. From now on, I'm just gonna put my hood up and be like that Kermit the Frog meme.
And then along the same lines, kind of piggybacking off of that, you're not always going to like your spouse.
Which is number 4.
That's number 4. You're not always going to like them. And that I'll let him talk about because he doesn't like me more than I don't like him.
No. It's more no. She been lying a lot in this one. What happens is I'm more vocal about what I want, what I don't want, because I don't have time. I don't got time to wait. If you bring me a plate of food and I don't want it, I don't got time to pick through. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like tomatoes.
You do. I don't.
I'm picking on you. But I don't got time to pick through. I'm just like, if you bring me a plate, don't put the stuff on it that I don't like because you know it. Now, that was a bad example because I just realized I do that to you. My bad. I like my pizza. Mushrooms. I'm sorry. But when it comes to not like, it's those moments. It's those moments where I feel like I'm not being understood and I have to walk away. And I don't like her at those moments because I'm just like, we do this every time. You're not understanding why I walk away. And she still does the same thing. She doesn't just let me walk away. She does the same process. And I'm just like, this is not new. The situation is exactly the same. The content of the argument is different.
Yeah.
But now I don't like you because I don't feel like you're listening. And she gets so, well, like she gets regal. Well, I'm like, and it makes me even more mad because I'm like, oh, now I've gotten all my festivity out, and now you all of a sudden want to act like you're refined and Madam Britain or something like that, and I'm all angry, and I'm looking like a wild beast pacing around. I've got a empty bottle of amaretto, and I'm like, and she's like, well, are we done? Can I go to bed now? And I sit up till 4 o'clock in the morning, low key listening to While She Sleeps on YouTube, or watch a Punisher, which she knows is a thing for me.
Yeah. Whenever he puts that on, I'm like, oh,
so, and
man,
it's those times I'm like, but I've learned to get over it because the not liking her, it happens a lot less because I know her now. Yeah. I understand her. So I'm just like, sometimes you irritate the heck out of me. You irk me. And I know I do it for her too, but like I said, I'm more vocal. If I'm just like, babe, just she's more like, she'll say something on this video and be like, yeah, I don't like none of your sweatsuits or something like that. Like, you look hot all the time. Like, I just be like, dang, dog, like, it ain't fully winter yet. Like, just wait, take that hoodie off. Like, and her irritations are small because it's not as big of a deal to her. And they manifest until it becomes a big deal and just like, all right.
Right. What was the one thing? There was something that you did. Was it with the trash or something? And I was.
Is it the bag of trash when I put?
Oh yeah, when you put the trash on top of the trash can, it doesn't make it into the trash can. It's just on top.
Stop lying. Say the thing, because I'm not just putting like trash on top of the trash can. I have a brown paper bags because I don't use them very much. So it's trash, right? We accumulate a lot of trash here for some reason.
Yeah.
So instead of us always filling up this trash can, what I do is sometimes I'll take the brown bag. If we're cooking, we're meal prepping, we got a lot of stuff we're throwing away at that time. We put it in there, and then we can take that bag out, then whatever. Now, I've learned sometimes a cat knocks it over or it falls. All right, I'm wrong. I've learned. But I put it on the floor now. Right. I think she still hates it, but at least it's not on the trash can. But that's new. That's not something I've always done. That's a new thing. Yeah. And she almost was immediate. She's like, well, why did you do this? But like we just had a thing right before this with the sprayer for the dishwasher.
Right.
She doesn't use the sprayer.
I don't use the sprayer because I just like doing the dishes.
But if you spray,
because if I'm washing the dishes and then I have to put the sponge down to get the sprayer and spray the thing off and then put the sprayer back and get the sponge
down. You can hold the sponge in your sprayer hand, but when you spray some of the debris off.
All right, I think we're gonna lose our
no because I know for a fact it might not be the husbands, but I know somebody is because if we're not soaking things because our sink's not that. No, we got to talk about this one. We're not soaking things, so you spray the debris off because we got Italian dressings and all types of stuff. When you spray the debris and the oils off, and then you wash it, and then you spray with the cool. It's like it's an extra step or two. We don't have a dishwasher. We're our own dishwashers right now. Mm-hmm. So I do it, and then I'm like, I gotta rewash the dishes. Then I'm like, I don't like you, Faith. And then that's how we come back to problem. Then I want to walk away. She throws a plate in my head, and then I have to come back with the blood on my head. But I come back better. I come back better though. I come back bloody, but I come back better. Anyway,
all right, so from that one, we're going to talk about how love by itself is not enough. That's something that a lot of people I feel like have misconstrued as well, whether it be from like just media or movies or whatever.
No, you keep going.
But yeah, so love by itself is not enough. But caveat to that, I feel like romantic love, we should say, is not enough, because every day, if you're married, you are going to wake up and choose to love your spouse. Like, it's a choice. It's not always a feeling, because we just said you're not always going to even like them. So sometimes you're going to be like, I don't like you very much, but I still love you.
Yeah.
Because I woke up today, I chose to still love you, because it's a day by day thing. You are who I choose every day in and day out. So love as in a romantic thing isn't enough, because you're not always going to feel googly and like sparkly about your spouse.
I've never felt googly or sparkly about anything except for ginger ale maybe. But going back, piggybacking off, it's one of the things we talked about before. So like we kind of loop love in and we think all love's the same. Like all love's not the same. Like what we aim for is a more pragmatic or consummate love that includes every type of love that we're looking for, because all love's not the same. I love my daughter different than I love my wife. I love my friends more than I love like my cat. Like every type of love is different, and it's not always going to be the same. So sometimes, like this morning and right now, I look at my wife and I know I have more of I'm a grown man. I have more of an erotic love because she looks really good. Okay, that's what it is. Sometimes it's playful, and then sometimes it's more pragmatic, where we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about our goals and just different things like that. And at those points in times, I'm not thinking about the sensual nature. I'm not thinking about so much the romanticized part of love. What I'm thinking about is, what are our goals? Where do we hope to be?
The longevity.
Exactly. So love is not enough by itself, specifically romantic love, but there's going to be days where you're not going to feel as in love, and there's going to be days where you're going to feel super in love. And when you feel super in love, lean into it. But when you don't think that that's the end of the world or things are wrong. Every day is different, and it might not even have anything to do with them. It could just be how your day, how your schedule is.
And don't make the mistake of thinking that love is a feeling. Like I said, it's a choice.
It's actions.
And it's actions, and because you're not going to always feel overly loving. It's just how it is. Like if you have a hard day, if he's being annoying or I'm being annoying, it's just you're not always going to feel it, but it doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
So that was what, number 5 or something? So we're on 6.
So you need to learn how to defend.
Yes, you need to learn how to defend your spouse. So you can take this one first.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. So a lot of people in their relationships, so as a man, you want to defend your woman. Like anything happens, you want to defend your woman. But you also have to understand that there's sometimes mental, emotional, spiritual things that happen where you have to defend them too. And there might be a belief system, or there might be even an action where you don't know how to defend that action or that belief, but you still have to defend the person. So me and my wife have some differing views on things, but I'm not going to come in and just cut her off at the knees because I don't necessarily agree with her. But if somebody tries to attack her as a person, that's why I'm like, wait a minute, we got to draw the line. If there's a dialogue about the belief, if it hits a certain level, I'm like, all right, you guys need to change the subject. You need to talk about something else, because you're not going to see eye to eye. But my wife is always going to be defended by me. Maybe not the belief, maybe not the action. she's going to be defended. And if anybody's going to tell her, like, this is the, like, we've had this conversation about this was not the right way to do it. This was a better way to do it. It's got to be me.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to check my wife.
Right.
And that should be the same way for me, because there's been a few occasions over the past year where it's actually come up, and I never really thought about that. We talked about our fitness journey.
Right.
In the last video. And there was a few times over the past year, like once, because I was on, like
he was on it more than I was on it. So like we would go out and hang out with friends, or we would do something, and like I'd be going up for another treat, like whether it be cake or cookies or whatever, and he'd make mention like, babe, do you really want to have that? Or like kind of just look at me side eye and be like, do you really want another piece of cake? And like not like disparaging me because of anything. He was just encouraging me to remember our goals. But some of the other people that were there, they kind of looked at him like, who are you to tell her what to do? And like kind of made it like he was controlling and he was this and he was that. And I'm like, I didn't think anything of it because I know he's not like that. And I didn't think that it was like a serious accusation because like we were just having fun. We may have been a little tipsy. Like I just kind of was like, oh, they know he's not really like that. And I just let it go instead of saying, no, my husband's not controlling. He loves me and he wants what's best for me, which is why he's reminding me about this. So it's a good thing. He's doing a good thing. And I didn't do that. I dropped the ball. But yeah, so it's just learning when and how to defend your spouse is something that you need to learn as you're going.
So
sometimes disagreements will make you.
That's number 7, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of piggybacks off a couple of things we said before. Like sometimes disagreements will make you feel like everything is like it'll make you question everything. Yeah. I think this happens for me more so than her because of my life experiences and things like that. And I'm the type of person, I'm a ship jumper. I'm a habitual ship jumper. I've learned this about myself, so I try not to ever put one foot out the door anyway because I know that other foot is soon to follow. So when it comes to us having arguments and disagreements and stuff like that, sometimes it feels like the end of the world because I'm like, we've already done this. Yeah. It's like we had a new argument, a new disagreement, and it worked out a different way. I can deal with that because it's new. But when we deal with the same things over and over again, it makes me question my decisions. It makes me question a lot. This is one of the things, and no one else can use this but me and her. When we really go through stuff and I question anything, the draw force she has is you married me twice.
I've said that like multiple times.
There is nothing I can say after that. If I'm just like but you chose to marry me 2 times, Justice.
Yeah. I literally pull that out of my back pocket.
So
if I need it.
So even if I question everything, then I always come back down to earth like, okay, I can question everything, but you did do that. Like you didn't marry anybody else once. You married her twice, and she drives you nuts sometimes. So apparently, whatever your question is not like, look at this smile. Like the question is not bigger than the answer, and she's my answer. So those are the times where it's just like, okay, I'm having a moment, and it helps me get back to my square. It gets me back to my square quicker. Because I understand, like, she is my world. She's my world. And what I'm questioning is not bigger than her. So I might have moments still, but I'm able to process it because I understand. I'm like, yeah, you did. You married her twice. Like, shut the heck up. There's nothing else. I don't know how she feels about that, but that's my thing. That pretty much sums it up. She's so flushed that she don't even know what to say.
But then this next one, I do have some stuff to say.
Number 8.
You'll learn new things as you go, and you'll grow into a new person because your spouse will learn new things and grow into a new person. So that's something. When we first got married to when we got divorced, and then we got remarried, and then from when we got remarried to now, he's a different person than I married. And it's like, I mean, he still has all the basic things that he had, but he has grown.
Like my devilish good looks.
He's grown in many areas. And I feel like so have I. And because of that, we've become like different people almost. So it's kind of like we have to grow together. We have to grow. And sometimes he might grow a little faster than me. And then I'll have to kind of catch up to like make sure we don't grow apart, because like you can grow, but as long as you don't grow apart, that's what cultivating your relationship is all about. Spending time together is all about. Just so you don't grow apart as you grow.
We talked about that too, about how quickly I move sometimes and how far ahead. And we've had some deep conversations where she feels like she's not moving fast enough, no matter what she does. And it for a while it was kind of true, but like this year it is like flipped, and I don't know how, why, what was the trigger, or anything. But now it's just kind of like, most days I think she outworked, like she over exceeds what I do, because I'll be bumbling through life sometimes. I try to fit a lot of stuff in, but I'm not always as efficient as I would like to be. And then I told her that, I said, well, you're in charge now, you're the boss. And I said you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And just understanding that now she's learning what that looks like. Like, I don't always want to be the one to make this decision or not, but she's capable of doing it, and that's something that she's learning, and I'm learning. Like, I'm learning to trust her with stuff I wouldn't. We did tacos tonight. Tell me this time last year I would not have trusted. Now I wrote the stuff out, but I still wouldn't have trusted. And actually, she did some things that actually helped me out that I didn't even say, but it worked out because she's just super awesome. So that's number 8.
Yeah, and then number 9. You can't keep the vision that you had of what your life was going to look like on your wedding day. So, like, No.
Marriage.
Yes. Well, sorry. What's your life?
Because we're not just talking about the one day. We're talking about...
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that day you get married, you have a vision. Like, you think you know what your life is going to be like. Every little girl...
Our first marriage day was very horrible for me.
Every little girl has this, like, fairy tale in her head of what it's going to look like. We're going to do this and we're going to do that, and we're going to have a baby at this time, and we're going to have a house, and we're going to, like, all of this stuff is going to happen. And then life happens, and you have to be able to move with it.
When you say life happens,
as it's
justice happens.
As it comes, because like I thought by now, I'm over 30, and I thought I'd have my own child by now, and I don't. It may happen, it may not happen, depending on how things go. Like, we'll have to decide that when it comes. But like, if I wanted to like hold so tightly to what I thought, I'd be like really upset that I don't have a baby. Some days I'm a little bit more upset than others, but my life is really good right now. Like, I feel like I'm a lot closer to him. I have a great relationship with Arabella. I'm like working on my career. Like, things are going really well, and I feel like if I had held super tight vice grip to what I thought my life should be, I would be missing out. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. Like, all I ever want, my whole goal in life since I was 8 years old was to be married and have a daughter. Like, I've accomplished like my greatest goal, but what nobody told me was that wouldn't be it. Like, nobody told me as a man, as a father, as a husband, you have to continue it. You have to be enduring about how you deal with this stuff. So my vision of marriage, as much as I love my wife, it wasn't her. It was somebody that was more so maybe like she is now from the beginning. And before, she had to grow into this person, and she's still totally her own person. I don't have a 1 in a million wife. I have a 1 in 1. A 1 in 1. She is the only woman on earth that's like her. When God made, like, I always thought people were made kind of pods or something. Pod people is what I used to say. I don't really believe it, but it's something I used to use. God made her and literally said, I don't think anybody else. She's probably the closest now, minus some of her not understand. She's probably the closest thing to Jesus since Jesus. I know that sounds crazy, but y'all don't know her. There's certain things about her and her convictions and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm a sexy beast. And there are certain things just in life. Both times we were married and everything like that, and she was able to resist me and all types of stuff. And I just said, well, God be the glory. I don't really know, but my vision was not what it turned out to be, but I'm glad. You see, I got my glasses. I didn't have glasses at that time, but now I got my glasses, and I can see clearly now. The pain is gone. So, all right.
And then the last one, number 10. To wrap things up, we're gonna finish with you will fight, and whether or not that's with each other, for each other, against each other, and then against the world.
fighting is
inevitable.
happen. Yeah, and my favorite quote is "Sic vis pacem parabellum." It's Latin for "If you want peace, prepare for war." And that's how I've always approached life. It's like life is a war. And I've heard people say like this constant war in your head whenever. It provides me with a modicum of success because I always know that there's a fight. There's no relaxation for me. And if I'm fighting, then she doesn't have to fight as hard. My daughter doesn't have to fight as hard. I'm war ready. Like I've always been through it. So I'm always fighting. But so when we have fights against each other, we have to understand we got to fight fair. I'm not going to low blow her. I'm not going to bite her. I'm not going to hit her with a brick. Anybody else? Yes. I'll bite you, kick you in the gonads, I'll hit you with a brick. I have no problem with that. I'll fight dirty as I need to survive. But with her, I have to make sure I keep things in proper perspective. But when we're fighting against the world, and I think this is how marriage really goes, how you deal with the rest of the world when the world is going against you, temptation, all those types of things, that shows you where your solid foundation is. And I'm going to fight everything possible with this woman on my side because I need to protect her at all costs because she is the most important thing to me.
Yeah. So I can't really say it much better than that. So unless there's any last minute things.
Just no. We're just for everybody that joined us this week, last week and just before, just thank you. Continue to tell people, continue to subscribe. It might be flashing right now. Subscribe. Yeah. Leave comments. Please leave comments. We're going to start leaving some of our contact info. Send an email, drop a line, send a text, say hi, say good job, say you got something from it. Yeah. Give us a topic you want us to talk about. We're going to try to do this every week, but we want to hear from people. Other podcasts that have gotten in contact with us, thank you. Hopefully we'll be on your stuff as soon as possible. And so this is just Justice and Faith signing off, pretty much saying just keep your faith strong and
maintain justice.
All right. God bless everybody.
Have a good one.